The Transformation Motivation is a weekly podcast featuring people that have made extraordinary transformations within their health and fitness journey, and maybe even their life. The podcast is an opportunity for real-life transformation stories to discuss their story for others to relate to. Too many times, there are people with these social media transformation stories that have doctored up photos, so we want to highlight real people with real stories people can relate to. We'll get insider strategies, tips, step-by-step of how they did it, and challenges they faced along the way. Now, get ready for the Transformation Motivation Podcast.
What's up, party people? This is Fit Emmett, and I want to welcome you guys to the Transformation Motivation Podcast. And in this podcast, we're going to grab people like my man Joel here, who's done like great things in their fitness journey and their transformation. And I want to highlight them because there's a lot of people out there that do it naturally and that they showcase their process, their journey in a natural way, meaning that they're adhered to a healthy diet, they're exercising, and we're going to talk to them to kind of get an inside scoop on what they're doing, where they started, and you may be able to relate to my man, Joel, and his process and where he started. So let's give it up for my man Joel. What's up, Joel?
Hey man, how you doing?
Fantastic. Great to have you on today to talk about your journey. Let's start it off by getting into a little bit about who Joel is and where you started in the process.
So you kind of want my background of how I got to where I was, or?
Yeah, so just give me a background on who you are, your age, and all the good, fun background stuff.
Okay. Yeah, my name is Joel Reed. I am 22 years old. I'm living in Durham, North Carolina right now. At my heaviest weight, I was 467 pounds, which, yeah, pretty bad.
Wow. That's a lot of person. That's a lot of person.
It was a lot of person. So let's see. My struggles with food have been there pretty much all my life. Like, I've always loved food. When I was a kid, I always ate more than everybody else, you know. I was all, all those stereotypes of the fat kid, like getting picked last in football and all that. That was me. But that really got amplified when I lost my dad in 2006. And when I lost him, like, you know how, like, every time you go through something, you need to find a coping mechanism. Well, some people find positive coping mechanisms, and I didn't. I found food. Food was my coping mechanism. You know, when I ate, I was happy. And also 2 years earlier, my mother had got diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. It was melanoma.
Wow.
And so she was a single mom, and she was living with that. So it was a struggle for us. And about 6 years later, in 2010, she passed away from the cancer. And
wow.
And again, I started turning towards food for comfort, but near the end of her life, she kind of hid the cancer from me, which was, I didn't really, I mean, I guess she was trying to protect me, but I still wish I would have known.
Sure.
But she couldn't really go anywhere because it had spread to her spine. So we basically became shut-ins. We couldn't go to the store. So all we were eating was really delivery food and fast food and stuff like that. So that really caused my weight to balloon.
Okay.
And at that point, I got around 376 pounds or somewhere in that area. I can't remember the exact weigh-in.
And this is from what? Where were you at the time before you gained that weight? Like,
probably high 200s, maybe. I've always been bigger. So I remember when we were in 8th grade, I weighed in for football, and I was 300 pounds in 8th grade, which was
wow. And how tall are you right now?
6 foot.
6 foot. Okay. And
yeah, I've been measured at 5'11" and 6 foot, so maybe we'll call it 5'11 and a half. But
yeah, depends on what scene you're in. You know, you're around
exactly.
Group of friends. I'm 6 foot tall, maybe even 6'1", right?
Right. Exactly. But
okay.
Yeah, so that caused my weight to balloon. And after she passed away, I was taken in with some family, or not family. It was really close family friends, but they become like family because they raised me pretty much all through high school. And they started getting me on healthier habits. They taught me, because they were really into health. They taught me how to eat, helped me exercise. I started playing football again, so that really helped with my exercise. But around my junior year of high school, I guess I was always trained to are told to kind of hold my feelings back, don't show weakness,
Hmm.
stuff like that. And I guess a lot of the feelings from my mom and dad's passing caught up with me,
Got it.
and started to turn towards food for the coping mechanism again, and became very sedentary. I would basically lock myself away in my room, play video games, and eat, and just eat and eat and eat. And it got worse all the way through my freshman year of college. And at the end of my freshman year of college, that's when I weighed in at 467 pounds.
Wow. That's a lot. That's a lot of person.
Yeah, it was terrible. Like I can't like honestly now I'm around 230, 235. I'm in the 230s right now.
Dude, that's a whole nother. You lost like two people.
Right. And I'm literally half the person I used to be, and I honestly just can't imagine how I did it sometimes, thinking
Gotcha.
back. Um, but yeah, so at the end of my freshman year of college, I moved to North Carolina. I was originally from Texas, so I moved to North Carolina with some family, and it was kind of the same situation. They taught me how to eat. They got me exercising, but this time something was different. I kind of wanted to do it for me. I didn't want it for all these other reasons. I wanted it for me, and I stuck with it, and here I am.
Cool.
So sorry if that was all over the place.
No, no, totally. I mean,
Yeah.
it gave us some background, and that's essentially what we wanted because a lot of times people listen to podcasts and they want to be able to relate to the person. They want to be able to relate to your story. And there's somebody out there that's battling with food as a coping mechanism,
Right.
and that's and sometimes people need to see that there is hope for them. That
Right.
they're not the only ones, that they're not the only ones dealing with tragedy, and trying to cope with it with food. But it seems like you made somewhat of a transition later on in life uh, to gain a healthier relationship, I guess, with food and how it relates to um, the health, your overall health. So talk to us about making that transformation, because losing 200 and something pounds doesn't just happen overnight. Like, where did you start in the process? Where was your mindset? And yeah, give us those steps. Give us how did that process start?
Right. So at first, when you look at like whatever amount you have to lose, like let's say it's 100 pounds, it doesn't matter if it's 200 pounds, 100 pounds, 50 pounds. You start to look at it as a chunk. Like at first I always wanted 200 pounds was my number. Like that's what I wanted to lose.
Hmm.
So that kind of put me in a mindset of getting very overwhelmed at points. Like you look at this big goal, this big daunting goal in front of you, and you think, "There's no way I can achieve that."
Hmm.
So part of my mindset at first was like small steps. Um, so for example, my first exercise that I ever did was walking. Like I would get up in the morning, walk a mile to a mile and a half, and that was my exercise. It, and also I'd start adjusting my diet little at a time. I didn't go completely cold turkey on everything. Like at first I focused on cutting out sodas, sweet tea, which was very hard in the South.
Yeah, I
Um,
live in North Carolina, so every dish, you go to any restaurant, they're gonna ask you if you want sweet tea. Like that's
right,
like a staple at every restaurant here. Yeah, absolutely,
right.
totally get it.
And yeah, so it started out with like little changes because I feel like if you try to do everything at once, it's going to be a lot easier for you to fall off the wagon.
Yeah,
So um, yeah, I started by walking and then eventually worked my way up to getting into the gym and lifting weights and doing cardio. But yeah, that's what I tell everybody who starts off. It's you don't have to go in the gym for 2 hours on your very first day. Start
got it.
small.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
that
usually I get people when I start, because I've trained clients all over the world. Usually when I get someone that when they started, they want this really complex, drawn out like map of how to get to the destination because they think it's harder than what it really is.
right,
Essentially, I'm going to give them a basic plan, and I just for the first 3 weeks work that basic plan. A large part
right,
of the process will be nutrition and how you approach nutrition. So I only give people three things to change each week, just not to overwhelm them.
that's very
Here's
good.
three things, three simple things to change, and that's it. Because when you're overwhelmed, you get frustrated, discouraged, and you quit most of the time.
Right. And if like me, like if food's been your coping mechanism your entire life and you get frustrated and overwhelmed, what are you going to turn to when you are overwhelmed and frustrated? You're going to turn to food.
Yeah.
And then it's very counterproductive to
And it's that
your
cycle.
goals. And also one of my biggest mindset things was being in it for the long haul. I knew that it wasn't going to be an overnight thing. I knew it was going to take, years to do. So, but all these people, they want this quick pill, they want this quick fix, but you got to be patient, you got to be consistent and work hard. So that
Gotcha.
was another part of my mindset. Because if you want it quickly, you'll of course in the beginning you'll see results really quick because it's that initial change, your body's shocked. But after a while, they're going to slow down, and it's easy to get discouraged there. So we got to stay positive through that.
So help me out really quick. So when you said when you started, you just started taking like little things out of your diet that wasn't healthy. So help some of my people out that are listening, because they're starting off maybe they're starting off at 400 pounds and they want some insight. Give them maybe a couple like strategy and tip things that they can do to get started in the process.
Right. So the biggest thing I did at first to help with my diet, because pretty much nutrition is the biggest part of this. If I had to break it down, I'd probably say it's 80-20, 80% diet, 20% exercise. And some people would give you exercise even less at probably 10%. But my first thing was logging my food. So I use this app called MyFitnessPal, and I logged pretty much, yeah, I'm about to say, I'm sure you've heard of it. Yeah, so I logged really everything. Like if I ate a carrot, it was in there. If I ate this, it was in there. And I basically logged everything. And that kind of opened my eyes to realize, because I was blind to calories for so long, I'd realized something that I thought was not too bad for me was really terrible, and it was very detrimental to my goals. Like for example, a hamburger. You get like a small hamburger from McDonald's, like, oh, this can't be bad. Look how it's like that big. And
it's like 450 calories, 500 calories for a little burger.
Exactly. And then you look at like this giant salad you can eat for probably 100 calories, and it's going to fill you up and make you feel good. So that was the biggest thing at first. So I recommend everybody log their food, be honest with yourself, hold yourself accountable. If you can, there's a feature where you can add friends, just if you can get a support system to keep you accountable, that helps at first. Because I had my family as a support system, which was really amazing at first when you're first trying to build those habits. So definitely try to surround yourself with like-minded people.
Or I'll be your support system. Just friend me on MyFitnessPal.
Right. Oh yeah. Same here. I will be your friend. So I'll be
Cool.
I'll help keep you accountable.
Cool. So we're about to wrap things up a bit. So it seems to me like the biggest takeaway for anybody that's listening, that is getting started on their journey, toward the transformation, is number one, hold yourself accountable, or find ways to hold yourself accountable by having other people around you to hold you accountable. Do the MyFitnessPal track. So one thing that I've heard, I picked this up from another coach. If you can't track it, you can't change it. So if
Right.
you don't see what's going in, there's no way you can adjust it. So
Right.
you can guess all day long and say to yourself, that seems healthy,
Right.
but doesn't mean that it's necessarily all that. Doesn't
Yeah.
mean that it's necessarily all that healthy. Once you start looking at nutrition facts and how much sugar's in it, how much saturated fat, and all that good stuff. So
Right.
that plays
And so I was gonna say, and the great thing about MyFitnessPal and logging your food is at first you need it as that crutch because you need to know what's in things. You need to know, okay, if I eat this, my body, I'm gonna have this many calories left, something like that. But after a while, it almost becomes second nature to you. Like you'll know, okay, I can eat that and still get to my goals, or I can't eat this, or I can still fit this in for the day. So after a while, it becomes second nature. So I'd say to anyone who's starting off, be obsessive at first, log everything, and yeah, you'll realize soon you can do this.
Even your liquid calories, even the liquid thing.
Oh my, yeah, liquid calories was the biggest thing for me. Yeah, like I used to drink. It was bad. When I was at my heaviest, I used to get 2 liter sodas and drink those in one sitting. Two or three of those, not two or three of those, probably one or two of those in one sitting, and it was, or one sitting's like a long time, but still, it's like I would literally drink straight out of the bottle. And
Wow.
yeah, so
Yeah.
once you cut out liquid calories, that's a huge help. So, and then you're also cutting out the sugar from those liquid calories, and it's just definitely the
So,
first thing.
Joel, I greatly appreciate you coming on to the podcast, and people are probably going to want to know how to get in contact with you to, follow your story or to check out your story. Give them some ways to connect with you.
All right, so you can email me at joel.reed97@gmail.com, or you can find me on Instagram at BigJReed. I'm regularly posting on there, and also you feel free to DM me any questions you have. I'll be happy to help.
Awesome. All right, guys, that was it for the Transformation Motivation Podcast. We have my man Joel on, who provided a wealth of information for you to get started with your journey. And like I said, he's doing it naturally. And no crazy pills, no crazy like surgeries or anything like that. He is really working hard, making it a non-negotiable to get his exercise in, to get his nutrition right. And again, we thank you, Joel, for coming on. And we'll catch
Thank
you
you for having me.
We'll catch you guys on the next episode. Peace.